And we're back. Thank you guys for staying tuned in. And now this is going to be a great game between the NTNUI team of Trondheim versus Ruhr Phoenix of Bochum. I'm Philipp Stolz, and I'm very glad that you're joining me here.
Hi, I'm back. It's been a while, but we're back in for this.
Yeah, Giro Farino on my right-hand side, and thank you, mate, for joining me for this great game. And here we have the brims up. Off we go.
So, I don't know much about either of these teams. Are you familiar with either of them?
Actually, I am, yes. The Ruhr Phoenix team of Bochum are a rising star of German Quidditch scene. I think they are now like one of the best, if not the second best, of German teams, and they're facing against Trondheim, the best team of Norway. This should be an absolutely pickle of a game.
So, do you think it's going to be a tactical affair, a slow-paced game, or very physical, fast?
I think it's going to be very, very fast. I mean, both chasing games are relying a lot of passes and quick drives. If there's an opportunity, just like right here, great beat pickup by Amundsen.
Oh, no, that did not go in. No, I think it spun the hoop. And that was a very good defensive beat, but the ball's still there, and that went no, it didn't go through the middle hoop.
And I think this game is going to be high intensity, Gio. Like, look at this. Both teams are putting their effort into this.
From what we've seen so far, is who do you think's got the edge?
Whew, that's very hard for me to. I would have to give it now to Bochum, because I really appreciate their level of gameplay. It rose for the last 4 years. Now their beating game is really up to point with Paul Zwerg and Daniel Becker right there in the middle. And the chaser, their keeper right now, Max Erik Schulzenstein, has a great arm, great distant throws, and it's very dangerous. You should guard him pretty closely as soon as he's a little bit closer to the hoops. What
was really nice in that last play was good scrappy defending. Sometimes plan A is not going to work, especially on a quick counter. Realistically, when you've got a quick counter with no bludgers, you've got to be scoring that.
Oh, look at that wrap by number 44, not letting down.
Good takedown as well. But they should score. Oh, just off the tips there and off the broom. Unfortunately, that's no good. And the ball is with the keeper driving forward. One's been called to slow it down. So I think both teams are just trying to feel each other out a little bit.
Yeah, Mikey Hinz missed the reception there. If she would have caught that thing, I think it would have been a safe goal.
Yeah, I agree. Completely wide on the hoops. And that appears to be a turnover, interestingly enough, with no bludgers. No bludgers, there should be a goal.
Mikey passing it to Max Erik Schulzenstein, and he puts it in.
I like the bounce control there. Yeah. Nice flashy play. Some nice techers there. You familiar with the words techers?
What is it on?
So I had actually a list of words I'm going to teach you on this live stream.
Oh, go ahead and do that.
So we'll get to techers next. Oh, is that...
And Steve Cockram says it was in, and I'm not going to argue with that.
I believe it looked like it went in. The beat was just narrowly wide. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to the word techers. So techers is slang for technique.
All right.
So if someone has unbelievable techers, it means they've done a very flashy play and looks really good.
Yeah, in this case, Max Schulzenstein's hand-eye coordination with his dribble. Thank you very much for educating me, Gio. Always good to learn something on the weekend of Quidditch. Okay, you see, Amundsen Schulzenstein, he's ready to lay off these bludgers.
So what they should probably do is they've got control. They should take out the beater. If they take out the beater who's on the hoops and take the trades.
They like do.
Oh, and that looks just like just went over. I think the weather might be getting to people. A bit heated there.
Yeah.
But I think Steve is probably going to call, guys, let's calm it down. No harm, no foul.
And I would believe that guy. Steve Cockram, one of my favorite ref, if not the favorite ref in my mind.
Oh, that's a bold statement to make this weekend.
I gotta give him some love, sorry.
That is a very bold statement to make this weekend. Hopefully it doesn't come back and bite you.
Oh, I hope so.
So, game, they're just discussing whether there was a foul, but I think Steve called the brooms down for the ball was way off the pitch.
Yeah. And then some light scuffle between Paul Zwerg and Amund Storste.
This is my first time actually in this stadium, like seeing it from inside. It's actually beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And I gotta say, I love the acoustics of this place. It doesn't take a lot of people to really get a good noise in here, and I'm really anxious for the finals when everybody's gonna be here and watch some great Quidditch with some great atmosphere. It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be loud. That's for certain. There's that. It appears to be an injury sub maybe there. There we are. I think we're still discussing it. We're a bit further away from the pitch than normal, so it's a bit harder to lip read from here. How are your lip reading skills?
Unfortunately, not very good. I'm almost blind, but I see that it's good enough to see that Amundsen is subbed out for Daniel Corneliussen.
There we are, and the ball is back in. Number 34 making no effort to speed the game up.
Yeah.
But I think it benefits them. They didn't have control. They want to try and let the beaters do something. But let's see if Steve briskly walks up the pitch, because typically when Steve walks up the pitch, you have to walk at his pace, or it's a delay of game. If he gets the halfway line before you, that's a delay of game.
And I don't know if Ulrich is knowing that, because he should close the gap between Steve Cockrum, and he doesn't.
Ooh. So I think that's the warning, maybe.
Yeah. Long pass, good reception here by Jorgen.
Nice one-handed take, good fake.
That was great.
Yeah. Would you say that was unbelievable techers?
It was unbelievable techers. Thank you, Gio. No, but I really liked it. He shifted his weight from his right foot to the left foot, and thereby tricked the defender and putting it through the middle hoops.
In Quidditch, as a chaser, that's quite an important thing to be able to do. If you can shift your body weight from side to side quite quickly and be very agile, you can fake out defenders, because it's very difficult to switch hands to tackle, because you have to hold the broom at the same time. Yeah. I know beaters don't have that problem too much. They normally just throw it at your face.
They're simple-minded people, aren't we?
Hit, physically or with a ball. That's a nice drive, but no good.
No good. Steve Cockrum thinks that Tom Roloff missed this one.
I don't know, it might have gone through, but maybe beat before. We're not too sure. From where it seemed, I think it went through, but beat before.
Yeah. So, and maybe this time Ulrich Olsen should advance the quaffle a bit quicker, and he does.
There we are. I think he's a light, brisk jog to the halfway line to beat
and
Steve.
look at that. Amonsoros is now wearing a face mask. Maybe he got hurt there during the play.
Interesting that you'd have the face mask on the side and not be using it for the whole game.
Yeah.
I think Steve is explaining the inbounding procedure. There we are. Yep. Number 8 was called inbounding player, so therefore has to inbound the ball.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of inbounding mistakes early in this tournament. I hope people will get the gist of it throughout this tournament. I mean, the rules have been out for quite some time now. People should try to get them inside their minds. It's not all about techers, it's also sometimes about the rules of this game.
I do love that word, the gist of things. It's such a great turn of phrase.
Thank you.
You're going to use, you got anything to teach me? Any phrases? Have you come unprepared?
I shouldn't teach you anything. I could only teach you German phrase, and nobody wants to hear that.
That's fair.
Right now, it's again bludger control by Bochum. Now, no bludger control.
Nice tackle. Oh, there we are. Yep, I think it was the trip, and there we are. That's the advantage.
Yeah.
I like the way that Steve would allow the play to continue, and then we'll call the advantage when it's no longer an advantage.
I mean, there's enough stops in Quidditch in a game as it is.
NTNUI number 42, illegal contact below the knee.
Small number. Here he can't do it because Jorgen Stenlik, number 42, gets a card for tripping, right as you said, Gio.
It's almost as if I know some of the rules. I definitely haven't been carded for that one at least, which is good. But no, I think the game is going as expected. It's quite a close game. I think this could go to swim.
I would hope so, because when these two teams put their seekers on the floor, it's a sight to be
sight to behold.
Sight to behold.
Thank
you very much, Gio.
Nice tackle. Very smart play.
Yeah. Great steal here. He's open.
Driving lane is through.
Tom Roloff is on him.
Good
Gets
tackle.
Him down.
Good tackle, though. Bludger controllers with the offense. Hoop is down.
But there's another one there.
Goal is good. Very nice little passing play around from the chasers.
And it was Ludwig Kuhn, number 43, and he deserved that goal because he was the one with the steal in the defensive side of the game.
Good that it's paying dividends. Oh, driving through. Let's see that cannon of an arm. Oh.
Also good for passes, and it's Tom Roloff with the goal.
Who needs to score when you've got a player wide open on the hoop? That's a very good, smart play. A lot of times, some players will want to be selfish and greedy and go for the goal. But it's sometimes better to go for the pass.
Yeah, and why we saw that, I think Daniel Becker there with the tackle against Amos Sosa, and I think that was from behind, as the refs are pointing out an advantage for Trondheim at this moment.
They should be taking this advantage. I don't think the keepers have seen. Okay, there we are driving through. Good save. Ball is still on the advantage. Ball is out, and this, I think, is probably where it's going to be called stop now.
Yeah, and as soon as you said that, Gio, Steve Cockrum blows his whistle, and yeah.
Yes, I'm wearing my special glasses today so I can see into the future, not just the pitch.
Sheesh, Gio, you have so many talents. I'm flabbergasted, so to say.
That was my aim. My aim was to, at some point, make you lost for words this weekend.
I just used the word flabbergasted. I think you did your job.
I'm so excited for flabbergasted to come back. So I think Steve is just discussing it. Is that a card there? I think there is a card.
That should be a card.
Yellow card, Ruhr Phoenix, number 25. Illegal contact from behind. 1
And I think
minute.
that's the right call.
Yeah. It was nice that they played the advantage as long as they did as well. Some refs will call the advantage immediately down just to find out what the foul was, but it's nice to see just the game being played.
Yeah.
As you said earlier, Quidditch has a lot of stoppages already, and we don't need any more, really. But the game is now 6 minutes and 47 seconds in, and the score is 3-3.
Yeah, Daniel Becker, he started playing as a chaser, but quickly realized, hey, beating is a lot more fun, and now he can have this fun in the penalty box.
Like, tackling is great, but what's better is tackling and throwing a rubber ball at someone's face. So now the power play is with...
Trondheim.
Yes, thank you. I see. You can see I was struggling. Great tackle, though.
Yeah, and I think there was a pass off the beat. Steve Cochran likes to differ. No, he doesn't.
It's pass after beat. You called it.
Yeah.
Are you wearing your future glasses too? Although the ball went through the top bins, as they say. I'm trying to bring that one into Quidditch. I'm trying to bring that one into Quidditch, but it'll be a while. That is a beautiful pass.
Yeah, and Mike has got it.
Nice drive. But where's the other options?
She's got no options.
The problem is, a lot of the times, the beaters were blocking out both options, and then they put two chasers on her. But passed it back nonetheless when the beaters kind of allowed them to have
I
the
would
gap.
like her now to get in. She does. Maybe Tom Roloff will see her. He does.
No goal. And the inbounding player is number 4. That is Stein?
That's Stinen. Evjeberg Hansen.
I did say earlier I was going to butcher every pronunciation, and I've tried one and butchered one.
To be fair, in Norway it's kind of hard because there's a name Stein and Stine, so
I was up against it.
To err is human, isn't it?
Yeah. To err is human. That's a very good phrase. Nice aggression. No, nice aggression. There we are.
With a lot of power there and a drive by Ulrich.
So interesting what they're calling. I didn't see this. Did you see this beta interaction? I think. Am was getting in with a lot of speed, and it looked like he put some contact. And it looks like he put some contact in it after the beat of Paul. And they could argue that he might have gained any contact with him when he was fairly beat, and that's not allowed. Yeah, I've from the game I played earlier, I did like that the refs were calling beats quite quickly as well.
Blue card, Ruhr Phoenix number 22, unsportsmanlike conduct, disrespecting a referee. Blue card, NTNUI number 6, unsportsmanlike conduct, disrespecting a referee. And I gotta say, right, I didn't have my future goggles on there at that moment, but these two are like very passionate players, Paul and Armand. And in the heat of the game, they sometimes tend to argue a little bit too much and get a little bit too much contact, and this time it showed. I think sometimes, especially early into a game, the refs need to stamp their authority, show that they are the boss, and sometimes giving a blue card to both teams, which is a fair punishment, can kind of stamp that out for the rest of the game. Yeah, no funny business here. Steve Cochran shows that he's the boss of this game. Which is good, because he is. Because he is. But what I like as well is Steve is actually respecting his ARs and listening to their advice and opinions on a lot of this as well. Let's see what's going on. So, because that's a blue card, that is not a Koffel turnover. Yeah. But I'm wondering if the goal stands or not. The goal, that's an interesting one. I think a goal probably would stand. Still a little bit time to debate what just happened there. Yeah. I think they're trying to discuss it. We're obviously, again, a tad too far away to be able to hear this conversation. I mean, we have a good view of the pitch, but unfortunately we're a little bit too far off to get what these four people are like saying right now. We have a beautiful view of the pitch, if I must say so myself. We are literally along the halfway line next to the camera. We are basically exactly what you can see on your screens right now. I mean, and I gotta say, like, I want to thank the city of Haraldbeke for like providing us with this great stadium, with this great opportunity with our tents and stuff. We're glad to be here, and I hope we'll have a great tournament throughout this day and tomorrow. Nice stutter step there, driving through. Oh, great by Daniel Becker. He forced a mistake, and he caught the bludger. That was all Daniel Becker. And he's also got 3 bludgers now. There's 1 beater with 3 bludgers. Oh, how? That is quite an impressive sight, if I say so myself. But I think the referee called advantage, but because the second one was on the floor, that is a legal play. Yeah.
But there should be a stoppage in game as one assistant ref is raising her arm to indicate a
Against
foul
him, yeah.
by John, and now Steve Cockram saw it.
Yeah. I think they may be discussing about that bludger, but again, as we said, because there was one on the floor, there is no third bludger immunity at that point. So realistically, the again, team on our left, what was their names? Because I'm not going to say it.
Trondheim. It's NTNUI of Trondheim.
Trondheim. Trondheim or Trondheim?
Trondheim.
Trondheim. I'm going to butcher that again.
Just call them NTNUI and you're fine.
Okay, NTNUI. Yep. They need to utilize this power play. They have 2 beaters. They need to pincer against the one-armed beater to get control back.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have any bludgers against one beater. It's quite an impressive sight from Phoenix.
I mean, of course, Amateurs just got in the game because of the goal, and now they take care of this few seconds that they have 2 beaters against 1 and go for it really clicking. No call. High pass.
Oh, tiptoes.
An NFL player would have been proud on that catch right there.
Inbounding call.
So Tom Roloff with the quaffle in his hands. And Amon Sorose picks up the only beater left, and now it should be a quick defensive scheme. Yeah. Counter right now. Ulrich won't be stopped.
Nice goal. Yeah. Nice drive. That's what I think NTNUI?
NTNUI.
Ah, almost there. I'm going to call them the Greens. We'll go with the Greens.
Go with the Greens, yeah. Or just pinch me in the arm when you need the name to be called.
So, that was a very nice drive from the Greens. That seems to be their main style of play. Go for those drives, trying to run through the tackles.
Yeah, it seems that they love that when the beaters are creating a quick counter opportunity, which is a thing that happens quite often. If you have Amund Soros, the number 6 of Trondheim, getting beat in this case.
Good
but also
beat.
Max Eriksson-Steinen, and it's picked up, and another counter. Yeah. And you can't guard that. You can't guard that.
The keeper was unfortunate there. It was realistically, when you're that close at the halfway line, you don't want to be losing. You don't want to lose the quaffle there. If you're going to lose the quaffle, you might as well throw it to their hoops. So there we are. This is a lovely German tactic of the third bludger immunity.
Yeah, triple bludger supremacy. It's called, and Amon Storso defends it. Oh, nice beat by Amon from the back, and there's no way that would be a goal. And Steve Cockram stops the game as the quaffle is out of bounds.
So I think at the moment Phoenix may be up on the scoreboard, according to our screen, but they also appear to be down in the chaser game, I think. So I think realistically we need to...
Wait, what number?
Do you think
what
the
number?
game needs to happen now? So I think, personally, I would say the chasers on
yellow card.
Need to
NTNUI number 44. Illegal contact. Shirt grabbing.
Kind of being outplayed. So kind of capitalise on that. Draw those beats. Run at the beater. Draw that beat, and then pass it off. As opposed to drawing the beat to the halfway line and getting a turnover then.
Exactly. And they haven't really reset the ball. I mean, sometimes it's. Take that reset, take it once, go back to your own hoop and give your beaters a chance to get back inside into the game and get rid of these quick counter plays. They're hurting you way too much, and it takes you a lot of effort to get back in the game if you're giving Trondheim these easy goals, but this time Max Eriksson-Steinen with his right hand throws it right in.
What a beautiful cannon of a shot there. As you said earlier, that was what we expect, but that was a beautiful goal.
Yeah. So this game is still very close, 60-50 after 11 minutes of gameplay. And Jürgen Stenlock is back in it.
It's got a little towel, I like that. I like the little towel. Big fan of the little towel. Good tackle.
But he's not brought down.
Good dodge, good little pass out. A nice goal. Whoa. Straight through the top bins.
I think Ulrich also deserves a high five from his teammates in that case. He withstood a tackle for a long time and even brought it up to his teammate, who could then score it in the upper bin.
Ooh, top bin.
Top bin.
Top bins,
I'm still learning. Forgive me, Gio.
That's fine. So top bins is from football, from soccer. So what it is when someone kicks the ball and it goes into the top corners, so known as the top bins.
So now Max Eriksson-Steinen can go.
Called beat though. There we are, and there's the advantage. Ollie Wynn, our AR, called beat and appears to be ignoring ref calls. That is a yellow card, if I believe.
Yeah. And I think Steve Cockram can actually argue that it's now time to listen more to his ref calls. There's a lot of debate going on the pitch, and I think he should have none of it.
Agreed. But let's see. I think no harm, no foul. Maybe let's have a look. I think discussing it there.
Yeah, that's Miriam Quas. She actually started playing in Oslo, like the always being the rival of Trondheim. I think she's playing with a lot of heart in this game as a former OC team member, and she's now staying on pitch already. Oh, that was the wrong decision. Didn't see the beater in the back of Tom Roloff there.
Nice idea, but unfortunately, poor execution.
And they can't bring Ulrich down.
So that's what you want to do. You want to run at the. You want to take the tackle. You want to take the beat. You want to run at and be aggressive, and you want to force them to make a decision. If you put them on the defensive, you are basically dictating terms of the game.
Yeah, and Gio, would you agree that sometimes people tend to pass before they initiate the contact with the defender? Can you elaborate why it's so important to take that contact?
So basically, by taking that contact, you've taken out the defender of the game. Typically, teams, if they're running a compact-style defense with one person up on point, that point defender is their best tackler. So if you can run at their best tackler, get tackled, but pass the ball off, everyone else who's going to then tackle is their secondary or third best tackler. So if you've basically, by taking the tackle yourself, it may hurt, but as long as you get that ball out, or if you take the beat yourself, they can't use that bludger to defend.
Yeah, in this case, Ulrich Olsen did exactly that. He took out Max-Erik Schulze-Steinen with a great handoff to Jorgen Stenlock, who was way open on the left bin.
So that's fine. So with left and right bin doesn't really happen, but we can go with left bin, it's fine.
No. Don't patronize me,
I think it's top bins when it's a beautiful shot in a top hoop. I think we'll go with that one.
Okay.
But for that, what we noticed is early in the game, NTNUI, oh my gosh, I love letters, there we are, got it. They were typically just driving straight through and trying to ride the tackles. They've adapted nicely and they're starting to pass it off.
Yeah. And now it's up to Ruhr Phoenix Bochum to get back in this game. It's 50-80. They have to think about something, but not like this great catch here with number 27 of Trondheim. That's Patricia Skala.
And there we are. And now they've got the pressures on. They need to be doing something. And there we are. You get beat out.
Oh, maybe a trip?
I think he'll claim accidental, but he knew what he was doing. It's a good tactical trip, tactical foul.
And no way to argue.
Yellow card, Ruhr Phoenix, number 77, illegal contact below the knee.
So the NTNUI, got it again, beaters aggressed and beat out the keeper who had the ball in the hand on the halfway line. Obviously had to drop it because they're beat, and there is no other defenders.
Yeah.
What you want to be doing, if you get pressed out, is you want to be looking for the shot, look for the long pass. If you lose the quaffle in the opposite end of the field, it's okay.
And look at that. That was actually, now I got to give it to Alex Miller. That was a great trip.
a trip in the back stops the attack, as someone once told me.
Yeah, and that brought Jorgen down, and important defensive effort, 50-80 still.
So that's what we call a tactical foul. Like, you know you're going to get the card, you know you're doing wrong, but ultimately you need to do that. There we are, and got to beat out again, a nice easy drive.
Here we go.
Nice sidestep, probably got lucky, a bit lucky. But that all came about because, again, the beaters from NTNUI are being quite aggressive. They've got control, which is quite nice. They are taking out the beater, and then they're pressing. Yeah. And the chasers know exactly what to do. Is pick up that quaffle and run straight through.
But I mean, Bochum has seen this like at least 2 or 3 times now. Gio, how would you like differentiate from your game to defend that? Like to defend that when you're in offense?
Let's see this goal. There we are.
Important one.
Exactly, very important goal. So the way you kind of defend against that is when the press is on, you need to fan out. So you need to open up the pitch and make those long passes. Because if you're passing 20, 30 yards, the beaters can't go and beat out every player. Yeah. You want to take the pressure to you, allow them to press towards you, and just before they release that bludger, you want to throw it to one of your passing options.
And again, taking the contact from the point defender, then the pass on the left side swoop works every time. And Bochum should think about something different now. And I think what you said earlier, they were fanned out, but the pass wasn't coming.
See, look, now they're all quite still clumped up. There is no one in that back left corner.
Yeah, Miriam should get the pass maybe. Instead, he tries to dodge it, does in this instance, but could have easily been another counter.
You were right about the shooting lane. Like, if the keeper is anywhere near that keeper line, shot is there. But because the press is so high, the pressure is coming right at the halfway line, there is no ability or advantage for that.
So this game refuses to go out of swim range, and that's the way we like it. Great tackle now here by Tom Roloff.
Yeah, and again, by taking that tackle, passing off, but then the beaters were quite nice. Oh, called advantage. Interesting. That could have been it. That could have been the goal to get them back into winning range.
It would have actually been like the first time that the press of Bochum worked the same as it worked against them all the time.
It's using your opponent's tactics against them. It's quite good. From it's not on your screen at the moment, but it is on your screen. The NTNUI Seeker, I believe. It's quite tall from what we can see.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Definitely got the height advantage. Looks quite strong too. Be an interesting snitch game, I think.
Yeah, and Johnny, that's number 44, and Johnny is David, number 99, David Heitmann of the Ruhr Bochum.
But they might not get a chance to go to snitch range because... Good beat though. Oh, yeah, calling it for tackling on the head. Unless making ref calls potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, NTNUI is complaining a lot in this game. I can hear them all the way up here, and there's I always hear a hey or hey, a lot of complaining, and Steve Cockram is probably telling them to tune it down right now.
Sometimes it can be frustrating. I know, like,
yeah, of course.
I played the last game, and there was a point that their player got beat out and didn't drop the ball when I was going, and I was kind of jumping around, and I got agitated. Again, I think it's heat at the moment. In tight games like this, they're 1 pointer to push it out of range. That could have been the goal there. Yeah. So it's quite difficult to keep your emotions fully in check. And I think Steve is kind of saying, guys, calm it down.
Yeah, it's understandable. The passion rises high. It's very understandable, but yeah.
But Steve is a very experienced ref. I think reffing for many years. Yeah. Former banger player.
He was actually the first ref I ever, first proper ref I ever faced in a tournament.
Really? Steve also gave me my first card. I got a blue card in my second game of Quidditch. Yeah.
Language?
No, I was a keeper and didn't reset the ball correctly from a goal.
How dare you?
Because I didn't know what to do. I just picked it up, and apparently I've got to walk back to my keeper zone. I went, what? No. And got a lovely blue card for my efforts. Also, I think also got carded in their first tournament was Ollie Wynn, who's our AR on near side. I think snitch ref this game. And first tournament was also BQC 2017, like mine, and got a red card for 2 yellows.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But no card in this instance.
Yeah. Hopefully, Ollie will not have to give a card to either of his seekers. Ollie, we've seen him maybe on the EQC Division 2 livestream before. He was there in Warsaw, and now he's joining us here in Harelbeke, and I hope he's doing a good job of staying in front of these very quick seekers, number 44 of NTNUI and David Heitmann.
Goal was good though, I believe. So they are now out of range, which means that the very, very strong NTNUI, God, I want to say Greens. I just really want to say Greens. The Trondheim beaters are very strong, very aggressive.
Oh, that handoff was not really good.
Should have gone for the shot.
Yeah,
or just driving it through. Again, as we said a lot at Division 2, hand through hoop. They can't stop if you put your hand through the hoop.
And again, bludge control with NTNUI. The very dangerous keeper, Ulrich Olsen, on the left-hand side, passes it to the middle.
They're just playing smart. Oh, good tackle, though. That's an important tackle. But again, they're trying to drive it through against control. The beaters at that turnover need to be aggressing and be causing chaos upfield. Yeah. Even if they lose their bludger, then at least they can't press them. Yeah. They need to be aggressing early.
And 3 seconds, and the snitch is on pitch.
Now they've got control back. Very nice tackle.
And immediately losing it again.
But the thing is
maybe for a goal, and that would be worth it.
Agreed.
And at the same time, a face speed of your own beater, number 14, with an unfortunate hit on Timofey Bernard.
Face beating hurts, but when it's your own team, it hurts even more.
It hurts on separate levels.
I think that was personal. You should have stopped the goal. I'm going to beat you for that.
How dare you?
Get better on defense.
I wish that was a thing.
I don't know. I've had some beaters who done that to me before.
Jesus. Where are you playing again?
Unspeakables. Yeah. Monique Davis is quite savage. NTNUI happy to slow ball it. I think Steve is quite militant with slow balling, which is quite good. Got control. There we are. Taking press. So let's see. Yep. Trying to. I think he might say to advance the thing. Koffel.
And a quick seeker sub, number 43 subbed in for David Heitmann. That's Marilie Hagedorn. She's now trying to defensive seek. A lot of contact.
That was a very good interception there for number 17.
Oh, and number 44 going over snitch, but with a lot of contact.
There's no bludgers. Why are they not dropping? So they've got 2 bludgers, but what they need to be doing is probably setting a bubble, as the Ruhr Phoenix beater is. One beater setting a beautiful bubble against control.
You explained this in Division 2, but Gio, can you go ahead for the viewers that only tuned in Division 1? Explain the bubble to me, please.
So a bubble is when you use your armed beaters or unarmed beaters, I've seen it done that way, to set an area around the snitch for your seeker. By doing that, as you can see on our screens right now, the seeker has got alone time, and the other seeker from the opposition's team is being screened out.
I got to stop you right there because that was a great offensive action by Miriam Kwas here with the shimmy, got through her defender and put it into the left-hand hoop.
So what's really nice there is they scored against control and were setting a bubble, trying to catch for the overtime. But now they're trying to catch for the win. Need a big defensive stop. Good beat.
And they have the bubble right now.
They do. One beater. Sometimes you don't even need one beat. You don't even need a bludger.
And you can't give Daniel Becker too much time on the snitch.
Phenomenal steal. And there we are. This should be a goal. Sidestep.
And the beaters are not paying attention towards the quaffle game.
The thing is they shouldn't. When it's swim range like this, you want your beaters on the snitch. You want to be setting that bubble and giving your seeker the most opportunities that they can. The more time your seeker...
Oh, catch! Gio.
There we are.
I don't even hate to say it, you're absolutely right. And thank you for correcting me on this one. Important catch by Daniel Becker. And if this would be good, it would be a 130 star to 110. And NTNUI lost this pretty much on the seeker floor. Again,
yeah, I think it was, they had the more dominant beaters throughout this game. But when it came to the seeker floor, they didn't understand tactically what to do. Realistically, in snitch range, whether it's overtime or win range, the quaffle game doesn't matter. You want to trade goals, which is what they weren't doing. They weren't even scoring.
Yeah.
They were losing the quaffle, and the other team was scoring. Phoenix was scoring. But then they were using their beaters on defense on the quaffle, and then I don't even know where they were on offense because they were not near the snitch.
Do you think that maybe the chasing game... Yeah, it's over. It's over. Ruhr Phoenix Bochum wins 130 star to 110 versus NTNUI Rimpeldunkvs of Trondheim. And then maybe the chasing game of NTNUI too reliant on their beaters in their offense?
So I think this game was, you could literally say, it's a game of 2 halves. You had the first half of the game, which was pre-switch on pitch, very tight, close game. NTNUI definitely were a dominant team, out of range at one point. But when it got to the second half, the snitch floor, Ruhr Phoenix were dominant and tactically brilliant. One person set a bubble, that's all you need.
Yeah, and I think the analyst desk will tell you exactly that, but we'll still have to give it over to the analyst desk. And that's us. That's it from us. Philipp Stolz here, and Gio, thank you for joining me.
Every time.
Coming up next in the weapon series time slot on pitch 1 is NTNUI versus Game Gargoyles. On pitch 2, Wesley Reapers versus Leon Tipton.
And we are back to the European Quidditch Cup here in Rimpeldunkvs in Belgium. Right, we have just watched an amazing game, and I am here with Patricia from Germany and Bex from the UK, who have been analysing this last game. So, starting with you, Bex, what can you tell me about the previous game?
Well, it was a nail-biter. So Ruhr Phoenix came from behind with the catch. The final score was 130 star to 110. It was level pegging for a long time. Then it looked like NTNUI was going to pull ahead. It kind of looked like they had the dominant beaters. They looked really sure of themselves. Ruhr was sort of struggling to match. And then Ruhr started playing their game. They settled into it. And right on it, they caught that snitch. Yeah, it was a real nail-biter. I enjoyed it.
And what do you think? What are your general impressions coming away from this, Patricia?
I thought everyone went into this game thinking it would be really close, with Bochum probably being one of the best teams in Germany and also maybe the best team in this tournament so far, as they have all their good players on the squad right now, and the other German teams are missing some. And also NTNUI is known for being probably the best Norwegian team, so I think everyone went in this knowing it would be tough. So.
Fantastic. So let's go into the ball handling chaser play and also the beater play. What are, for any whoever wants to go first, what are sort of your general impressions coming away from that game?
The beaters were running the game. Like, we talked about this on the thing. Like, you've got Armand Storos, who's one of the best beaters in Europe, if not the world. I'll say the world. And he had complete control of his bludger and his partner's bludger with incredibly smart play. At one point, his partner had 2 bludgers on the floor, and he had one, and that's not guarding because she didn't have the other one. A very, very clever, very tactical play. And of course, he takes people out like a sniper with those bludgers. And yeah, all I've gotten here is like almond with like hearts around it. And it just looked like they had the other beaters on the run. In terms of ball handling with the quaffle, everyone could finish. That was the thing. They put that hand through the hoop to score several times, not just leaving it, to the gods if I lob it that way. No, ball, hand, through hoop to score. That stood out to me.
But I personally thought that NTNUI relied pretty much on their key players, but because I didn't really have had the impression that everyone was able to score the goal. I thought they pretty much played with Jürgen a lot and Armand, while Bochum actually used a lot of more of the players, at least not all of them, but I mean they have a share of like national players and development team players, and you can see that. I think they have the deepest squad.
Definitely, I would agree with you there, especially where the female chasers were concerned. Like that, developing your women is what sets apart your OK teams with your elite teams. Like knowing that, hey, everyone on my team, everyone on this field can catch, throw, distribute. And at one point they were playing 3 female chasers, which you like hardly ever see. And I was here for it. I was loving it from the Ruhr side. That was fantastic.
Did you notice anything else about their ball handling, or especially the number of females that they also had on pitch as well?
I think for ball handling, I think both of the teams played really similar, with both of them trying, if they don't have bludger control, to try to get that back, and then creating a no bludger situation and just using that like 3-4 second time frame to score, which worked pretty well for both teams. But it was, I thought it was a really similar playing style with better beaters on NTNUI side and better chasers on the Ruhr Phoenix side.
It's very much one of those games that if we were going to play it again in an hour, the result would be different.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
You just don't know. No. I want to see it again.
Yeah. Oh. Well, you might get the chance to in the final. But I'm going to have to wrap that up there, though, because we have an interview. But thank you so much, Bex, and thank you so much, Patricia, for coming in. We'll look to see you off later in the live stream. But now, from Ruhr Phoenix, we have the keeper, Max Scholsteinen. Welcome. Come around this way. No, very good to meet you. Welcome. Oh, thank you very much. So, first of all, what are your impressions of the game just gone?
That's a huge question. Well, the game is just over 5 minutes, and I to be honest, in the middle time, it was not looking good for us. The beater play was very good from the Norwegian team, as you said it, and we kind of didn't have the tools to get through it and get it done. We knew we need to get budget control as soon as the snitch is on pitch, because that was a thing we trained a lot. And yeah, we did it. We got budget control, and then we had a good chaser who catched it. And yeah, so I probably do need like a night to sleep over to rethink everything. But right now I'm just like freaking exhausted. And I'm lucky, obviously. The last game against Werewolves of London, same situation, but just against us, so they catched. And now I'm just happy, and the team really deserve it.
I wanted to kind of explore a little bit, because this is a very high-profile game. Obviously, there was a lot, like the stands were very full. There were people always coming in to watch this game. How do you and your team sort of deal with the publicity and that pressure, the mentality going into a game? What sort of mindset do you try and encourage within your team before you go on field?
So basically, it starts even before going on field. It's the kind of thing we do. We have a lot of different characters in our team, dealing a lot with pressure, some don't. And since it's been a long way to actually getting to an EQC, we failed 2 times. We've been last time in 2016, and we always counted ourselves as having the potential of being here. So what we said was basically, guys, we trained that, guys and girls, so just go to bed early, and then everything else is tomorrow, and we know we can do that. Just don't worry. I said I trust in you. Whenever I do something wrong, I trust you that there are several other people on pitch who can do that. And so just like stop running your thoughts. We can do that. We will do that. Go to bed early. Stand up early. Be fresh. Be nice. That's it.
Was there any particular moments in the game that you're always going to remember? Perhaps a particular play from one of your players, a shout out to this particular moment? Or was it generally your team, and would you find that the trust between your players was something that you're always going to take away from this game?
Well, the trust definitely, but I think that should always be a case in that kind of sports. I did saw the snitch catch, which was nice. I know I always need to force myself to focus on the quaffle play, but the quaffle was kind of far back, and so I looked over to the right in the moment and I saw how beautiful the catch was, and this I will remember. And yeah, so basically that.
I did want to explore, because also a little bit about you as well, because you're a very high-profile player here in the Quidditch community. I wanted to ask, so you have quite a heavy sporting background. Going around the fields today, I was asking about, Max and saying, tell me about him. They go, he's Mr. Endurance. If I'm correct, you played this entire game?
Yes, I did.
So, and also you have a background in handball, is that correct?
Yes, I played handball for about 8 years. So when I was 12 to 20 something, with a very nice team, I was always, it was a nice sport. And then I was away for a while, and then the team kind of like, not falling apart, but they were moving like in the club in different teams. And I was like, okay, maybe that's it. And then Paul Fanna, the beater of ours, the beater coach as well, approached me and said, oh, I'm playing Quidditch, you want to join? I was like, yeah, why not? So let's do that.
Oh, brilliant. I wanted to ask, actually, what skills, because of your heavy sporting background, and also because within Quidditch we have lots of different levels of sporting ability. There are people that are starting from the first time, but you clearly have a lot of experience. What, from your previous sporting experience, what have you brought from that into Quidditch? What do you feel has helped you in your Quidditch career?
So obviously, like, handling with the ball, so like throwing, passing, catching, like all these kind of stuff. Also agility, since handball is very like you're just allowed to do 3 steps after you stopped playing the ball. So obviously that. But above handball, I also like do a lot of cycling in the woods, and this really calms myself. So whenever sport is, whenever it's getting troubled on the field, I try to rest in myself. And yeah, so I do enjoy. I try to go cycling like once in a week at least for like 2 hours in the woods, and then I can just like switch my mind off and relax and do something for my cardio as well. So I guess it's a bit of both. So like the ball handling stuff, obviously, and then having a lot of endurance, as you said, by cycling in the woods.
How do you set to your team, because obviously you bring your A game, how do you inspire the rest of your team to also, like, what kind of techniques do you use to encourage them with their fitness, with their endurance? How do you help build everyone else up around you on your team?
Well, I think it's more about being like kind of living it. Also like saying, okay, so today before training, I do the beep test. Who's going to join? And then I do it for myself because I know I'm going to be coached during the practice, so I can't participate in the way I want to. So I do a beep test before. So I start, like my system starts running already. So I said, okay, I'm doing beep test today. And nobody likes beep test, obviously, but some join. We have 4 trainings a week, and obviously I try to be there. Basically that. I don't know. I did a lot of Christian youth work, so maybe there I can kind of just like speak in front of people, but I never really thought about it actually. And plus, I mean, I'm not the only coach. We have like 3 other coaches, and I guess we have a good working team, and also like within the coaching team, and also the team is always giving us feedback, so that's good.
So what are the goals that you and your team have for the rest of this tournament? Have you set any goals? What are you hoping to achieve?
To be honest, I don't want to talk about goals because for us, and that is what I said to my team yesterday.
I'll rephrase the question. What is your vision?
My vision.
What is your vision?
My vision is actually just, since it's been a long way for us actually getting here, that every game here is like a gift for us. It's just top up. Doesn't mean that I'm just like handling the top up, like, yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Obviously, I want to win, but I don't have an aim saying, oh yeah, we want to be there. And this is what we also said to the team. So when every team member sets a goal, that's fine. But I will not communicate a goal saying, oh, we want to go an upper bracket. If we don't achieve it, everything was worthless. I don't want to do that.
What kind of advice or words of wisdom do you like to pass on to your team as well? Because you've got a heavy presence, I guess. Just being here, kind of with you and your passion, the way that really comes through in the way that you speak. So, what sort of words or sort of how do you try and inspire others to do the same as you do?
Well,
sorry.
but like on the pitch, just be awake, stay focused. Stay stoked, don't lose the fun, enjoy the moment, because this is the moments we are living for. And off pitch, have a good mental, I don't know how to say it, have a good mindset. That's probably what just like go there, enjoy everything. When things are not getting well, I don't know, look in the sky, calm yourself, go back on pitch, do your best. If it's not enough, that's fine. We're here on the European Quidditch Cup, so it's totally fine if it's not enough. And don't put yourself under too much pressure, because under the line, it's our hobby. We invested time and money to get here, so don't make yourself be feeling bad about this weekend. And if everything is bad, just like enjoy a Belgian beer in the night.
Fantastic. Okay, so the other thing I just wanted to say is, and because you have people back home obviously watching, if you wanted to do a shout out in their native language as well, or if there's any special people you'd like to mention as well, now's your chance. The rest of Europe is watching.
So I probably better do that in English, because I have a few English friends watching as well, maybe. If not, I would speak German now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe you don't laugh at me that much anymore after you've seen this high intensive game. And yeah, I don't know. Looking forward. You can pay me a beer somewhere. I would appreciate that. And a fries, something like that.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in, Max. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Will
do. All right. So we are now 3 games in to the European Quidditch Cup, or 3 slots in, but we've still got about 6 to 7 left in the rest of the day. We'll be coming back in about 5 or 6 minutes, but in the meantime, take a break, have a drink. If you want, come and tweet on our Twitter feed. Send us a handle, ask us your questions. We are #EQC19 live. So if you have anything you want us to bring in on the live stream, let us know. But I'm Jandals from New Zealand. Thank you very much, and we'll be back soon.